Hello and welcome to Awaken Your Instinct. Well, what I want to know is why is everyone so afraid of the power of the belly? And that's what we're going to explore tonight. But first, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Lalith Polite, and I help people to find and freely express their truth with dignity and grace through movement, personal coaching, and personal development. And I also am a professional belly dancer and belly dance teacher. I teach online classes and I teach in-person workshops and classes here in my local area. And so that's what I'm doing, and that's why it is so important to me and why I've had so many experiences with showing the belly and people's reactions to that, my own reaction, that I am here to talk to this, to speak to this today. So, let me share the story of what happened to make me want to explore this topic further. So a few years ago, I was booked to be a showgirl at a casino party. And you say, showgirl, belly dance, that's not the same. Right, that's true, it's not the same. But I had this costume that was a samba belly dance fusion costume, and it was basically a showgirl costume, okay? And let me tell you what it was. It was a headdress with all those big ostrich feathers, a belly dance bra top, some gold hot pants, and a belly dance belt that had really long fringe all the way around it, and then a kind of a half boa skirt. So like I had these boas and like kind of chiffon-y ruffle things that were short on the side but went longer in the back and really came down, I mean, in the longest area, they probably came down below my knees. So literally it was covering everything. Everything's covered, right? Except my belly. All right, so anyway, we're at the venue getting, final touches, putting on the final touches, and the client walks in and she looks at us and she's like, oh, well, do you guys have anything you can put on to cover up? And I was thinking she meant like a cover up to walk from the dressing area to the party itself. And I was like, no, I didn't bring any cover up because, I just assumed, we're just gonna go do the party. And she was like, yeah, her costume's okay, but because, the feathers, they kind of come down and cover her tummy a little, but yours, I don't know about yours. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I'm gonna go talk to them and see if this is gonna be okay or not. And so she came back, and she's like, yeah, I think we're just not gonna use you all tonight. And, then she left, whatever. And I was just very perplexed, because my friend and I, we both had tops that were kind of like bra top, belly dance, samba fusion, samba style top, had the same top. She was showing more leg than I was showing. I had my boa on, and of course nothing wrong with what she was showing, but I'm just saying, like, the issue with my costume was it showed my belly. Oh, by the way, as a showgirl in a costume, but that's a story for another time. So at that point, I was so perplexed. I just had to learn more about, about what is it about the belly? What was the problem? That's a problem to show, but not cleavage, not legs, not arms, So I decided to look into this, okay? First thing I wanted to know was, where does the feeling of shame and disdain for showing one's belly come from? And I've just, based on my research, reading books and looking online to see kind of what people say about it and personal feelings and experiences, I think that I found 3 categories of where the shame comes from. One's physical, one is societal, and one is energetic or spiritual. And so physically, if you think about the area, so when I say belly, I mean from the sternum, you know, where your abs come up, you know, your abs are up to your sternum basically, all the way down to your pelvis, and just like a few inches above your pubic bone. That's what I consider the belly. And so if you think about that area, and I do have to give credit to Sharon Kahara, she is a very famous fusion belly dancer. She is the one that pointed this out about why people kind of cross their arms and hunch over. You know, what is it in our bodies and in our just instincts that make us do that? And it's the fact that we have pretty much all of our vital organs are in our abdomen area. There aren't very many of these organs that we can just live without. And if we show and open up that area to others, that feels vulnerable just instinctually. So we've got our physical makeup, right, of our vital organs right here in that belly. And keep in mind the word vital. What is vital? It's life-giving. It's life-affirming. And that's going to come into play here towards the other later part of the video. So keep that in mind. Vital organs. And it makes us feel vulnerable to expose those vital organs. Okay, so also it has to do with when it comes to the physical, we've got weight. You know, if we're overweight, a lot of times that weight is in our belly, in our abdomen, and we don't want to show it. It's like, I hate, like how many times, who on this video has ever said, I hate my belly, I don't want to show it, I hate it, I don't want anybody to touch it, I don't want anybody to see it. I know so many people that I mean, men and women, that's like their least favorite part of it. They want anybody to see or touch or anything. And if you think about it, we have shame about being overweight or just not having the perfect body. Like, in no case should we ever feel shame. Certainly if we have a health condition, you know, certain levels of being overweight can cause health conditions, and that's certainly a concern, but it's not a reason to be ashamed either. And so for sure we should never feel ashamed, but it's just that we do. Society has told us it's a shameful thing to be overweight, and so we don't want to show that because we're like, it makes us feel bad. Well, that one's pretty obvious. Okay, so society, societally speaking, the shame comes from this kind of concept that, and look, I am not of the mindset that we ought to have a battle of the sexes. I am not, absolutely not. But unfortunately, there has been a battle of the sexes, okay? I want it to stop, but history has waged through history, right? So because of the battle of the sexes over the last thousands and thousands of years, it has become shameful for a woman to purposefully or accidentally incite arousal in a man. And so the belly button is considered on a woman another orifice. If you get my drift, I don't think I have to say a whole lot more than that, but for whatever reason, that's arousing. Now, for you, if you're a man watching, maybe not to you, that's fine. It's just what people have traditionally felt and said about that. And you can still see, even through, and this is like very over like many centuries that this has been the case. It's been, you don't show your belly button. And even in Hollywood and the golden age of cinema, where you had belly dancers in the movies, they had to put a jewel over their belly button, like a, you know, to close it off, and like into the 70s and 80s. And then you even see now today, It is illegal to professionally dance in a nightclub in Egypt and show your belly button. You can get taken to jail for that. And that is all about, like that, it is no secret, that is all about, quote unquote, inciting immorality. So if you're showing your belly button, oh dear, that's arousing a man, and so now you are inciting immorality. And again, I'm not here to perpetuate a battle of the sexes, but that is where this comes from. That is where this stems from. We want to stop that action, and we want to stop that war of the sexes or battle of the sexes, but that's just where it comes from, okay? All right, and then the energetic category. If you're familiar with the chakra system or have ever heard of the chakras, they are considered wheels wheels of energy or energy centers that have locations in our bodies. And I actually, in one of my previous videos here on the channel, I quoted a peer-reviewed article that showed that there were actual centers on the body that you could locate these chakras, these wheels of energy. Anyway, that being said, the energy centers, the concept of that is that they relate to different areas of our life. And when we move the energy through in a healthy way through those energy centers, then those areas of our life are balanced. When they're out of balance, they can be underactive or overactive, and that shows up in different ways, but they're all, unhealthy for us, if that makes sense. So in this case, our abdomen or our belly area has our sacral chakra, which is between the navel and the pubic bone, and the solar plexus, which is between the navel and the sternum. And the sacral is the feminine energy that represents our reproductive area, our sexuality, our sensuality, ability to feel and be in touch with our emotions, our intuition, our nurturing, our receiving. And the masculine area, which is the solar plexus, I think it's called Manipura, is the Sanskrit word for it. It represents our will and our willpower, our discipline, our ability to get things done, and our self-control, okay? So think about those areas, and if those areas are unhealthy, like how much shame comes from having an unhealthy sex life or an unhealthy sexuality, whether it's over or under. How much shame comes from having no willpower? Like I think about sometimes why we don't want to show our bellies when they're overweight is because it's a physical manifestation of our lack of willpower, at least for me. And so I feel like, when we don't have discipline, when we don't have our strong will or ability to get things done, we feel bad about ourselves. And so that's where, in my opinion, I think that all of the shame comes from, not all of it, but a lot of the shame and disdain for the belly area comes from. All right. So now I want to go into, okay, so that concludes where the shame comes from. And now I'm going to mention that I find that there is a purposeful reason why we're afraid, and it's ill-intentioned. The reason is ill-intentioned, and it goes back to the vitality of this area. And I'm going to put that all together for you after we talk about the power of the belly, all the ways that our belly is powerful. Okay, so let's talk about it. All right, so first of all, our belly either holds life or it helps to create life. So you've got your reproductive organs, you've got your, well, that's it. Those hold, or, for women, it holds life. And for men, you help create life. Okay, life. Okay, it's our center of gravity. So our center of gravity is just below the navel. It has stabilizers to keep us from falling. So it helps us stay balanced from just a purely physical standpoint. In Taoism, they talk about having a Kundalini energy, and that is represented by a coiled, you could say, symbolized by a snake that's coiled at the base of the spine. And what that does is when it is used consciously, it's considered life force energy, and it can enhance our vitality. And so again, think of vitality. That's where our Kundalini energy is located. Our life force energy is located right there in the pelvis area. That's very powerful. Okay, and then we have the union of our masculine and feminine energy. Okay, when you unite a man and a woman, you can create life. So when you unite masculine and feminine energy, your life force is enhanced. They balance each other out, they harmonize each other, and in my opinion, and I fully believe that when they come together, when the energies are balanced and united, that it exponentially benefits each individual. And so again, your masculine energy is going to be the willpower, the discipline, and then feminine energy is going to be your emotions and your intuition. And so uniting those in harmony it happens in this, literally physically in this area. Okay? And so if you think about it, all of the ways the belly is powerful have to do with life, not death. And in this world, you're going to find that you have life-giving and life-taking forces, unfortunately. They're opposing forces, good versus evil. Again, this is just my belief. I unfortunately believe there are controlling and evil people and forces and entities in this world. And they wish evil and death upon all living things on the planet. So because of that, they've created stigmas around life-giving, life-affirming, life-supporting concepts, activities, things. And one of those is the belly. You guessed it. And so it's really important that we understand this. Those of you who will resonate with this, you'll just get it right away. For those of you who this might be your first time considering the fact that there are actually opposing forces to life out there in the world, out there in the ether, sorry, I truly believe that. And we have to constantly turn our focus back to life-giving forces, life-giving activities, life-giving beliefs and thoughts and emotions. And so, those who seek to control, they've told us lies, and we believed those lies. But we have the choice and the ability now that we have some more understanding, some more knowledge about, wait a second, those were lies that we believed. I choose to believe and know now that this is a powerful force, and I want to honor my belly. I want to honor this powerful force that it is, and wield it in its power. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? That's not what this video is about. But the video is about why we're so afraid of the power of the belly, and how we can see and find that power of it. Certainly, if there's interest, I can do another video about how to enhance the power of the belly, how to embrace the power of the belly. And in fact, that's probably just what I'll do in the next video. I don't need to worry if there's interest or not. I need to cover that, and so I will. And so I hope that you have gotten something out of this video. I want to thank you for watching. And I think I'm supposed to say this at the beginning because apparently people don't watch till the end. But if you did like this, would you like my videos? Subscribe to my channel for more videos. And I'll see you next time when we cover how to embrace and enhance the power of your life-giving belly.